Oh, the irony of adding freedom to one's name while simultaneously advocating for certain groups to be stripped of their freedoms is sending me. Enes Kanter Freedom made a total spectacle of himself during a recent matchup between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever. Man, I tell you, there's always something with that Fever team. Whether it's folk getting escorted out of arenas, politicians getting involved in the WNBA, now rallies against transgender individuals before games, and protests against transgender individuals during games. No, they are not online trolls, Stephanie. Enes decided to show up to the Sky game wearing a shirt that gave a definition for a woman, since he's against transgender individuals playing in the WNBA. He wanted to be a disruptor. Enes wanted to be seen. And when Chicago's Natasha Cloud took issue with his presence there, the 6'10" Enes walked toward her with his arms outstretched. This was an intimidation tactic, seeing that Enes is considerably taller than Cloud. And unfortunately for the former NBA player now identifying as a woman and declaring for the WNBA draft, this stunt did the opposite of his supposed goal, that being supporting women. But is that really his goal though? Let's quickly go back in time. Enes added freedom to his name after becoming a US citizen back in 2021. He calls America his home now after his Turkish passport was canceled and his former country of Turkey reportedly put a bounty on his head. This after his critiques of the reported human rights abuses by the Turkish government. From what I read, Enes has also been critical of Nike for its manufacturing deals with China and believes he has been ostracized from the NBA because of this. Following his NBA stint, he has reportedly run interface basketball camps for children to unify individuals and has traveled the world to meet with leaders as a human rights activist. Given all of this, why would Enes align himself with right-wing individuals, punch down on Natasha Cloud in the name of a made-up battle against transgender individuals entering the WNBA, and tweet that he would dunk on Angel Reese of all people as a WNBA player? Hold up, wait a minute, I've seen this story before. Now it's time for me to mention that there are many so-called quote-unquote human rights activists who have anti-black sentiment. Sometimes all it takes is looking at which human rights violations are prioritized. The world turned its back on Rwanda back in 1994. The same way many activists currently fail to advocate for Haiti, Sudan, the Congo. And as far as Americans, even the black people in their own backyards. Black people are still being lynched in 2026 without consequence, y'all. Other times we must observe the actions of these activists toward black people, like Maya and Tori on TikTok. I don't find it coincidental that Enes has decided to insert himself into a predominantly black league and has now publicly accosted two black players. Enes has become one of the same tyrants that he has been critical of in years prior. When you consider what MAGA, right-wingers, conservatives are to black people in the US, black people have been and are currently experiencing human rights violations. Enes wasn't critical of Turkey and China because he wanted change. He just wants to be in control. It's kind of like how many quote-unquote good guys are actually wolves in sheep's clothing. They're good on paper, like they haven't committed a crime or abused anyone, but they look the other way when their friends harm women, hang out with absentee fathers, or weaponize therapy as a control tactic like Jonah Hill supposedly did with his surf instructor ex-girlfriend. Both kind of guys are problematic and controlling, but the good guys are just discreet with it. I've pointed out some ironies in this video, but let me end with one more. Doesn't the base that Enes aligns himself with in America take issue with immigrants? Having this idea that they're stealing jobs and disturbing the country's great democracy? Well, ask yourself, what is Enes currently doing?